Hey guys, welcome to Embrace Tai Chi, where we explore Tai Chi training and principles in a way that's useful for you. Today, we're going to be continuing on this series of videos on the Tai Chi push. Hopefully you've seen the last video. If not, go back, check that out. It'll make more sense if you follow that one first. So, real quick though, last time we worked on the Tai Chi push, where you're bringing energy in and pushing out. We also talked about pouring, Peter Wayne's concept of pouring the weight into the back leg, then bringing it up, pouring all your weight into the front leg, okay? As though you're a great big water balloon or like a walking, talking aquarium that's walking around. You're gonna pour all that water back and pour all that water front. We're gonna use that same concept in today's video as well. So as we're coming in, we're pouring back and pouring forward. And we also talked about using this movement to kind of clear our head, even clear our body of stagnant chi. So we're going to take all that negative stuff that we want to get rid of and just kind of let it go, push it away. Take all those problems, distractions, concerns, worries, anything that might be bothering us, and just taking it from the center, pushing it out away, out to the environment where maybe it can do some good for someone else, but we don't need it. Now, today I'd like to work on changing that movement around a little bit. In the original Tai Chi push, you come back, you're pouring out your leg, rooting into the back leg, pouring, making this leg very, very light, pouring it all into the front, and pushing forward. And your arms are just kind of making a nice, easy circle, either this way, or if you'd like to uproot, coming down and pushing up as you go back. There are a couple problems I see with that. The first is that you're double weighted, that you're pushing with two hands. And we'll talk a little bit about that in a little bit. But the other thing is, I think that we can make this movement a little more sophisticated by moving our body, becoming a little more dynamic with it. Now, if you've always done the movement that way, that's fine. It's a perfectly valid technique. All we have to do is find some changes for the double weighting, and we can use it perfectly. But I think we can do something more with it. I think we can make it, at least for me, better, something I feel more comfortable with. In order to do that, we've got to do one of my favorite warm-ups, and that's just the figure 8 hip circles. We're just going to make a figure 8 on its side. It looks kind of like a infinity symbol. We come through just like that. With our hips, we're going to come one side circle, other side circle. So you're just taking that 8, bringing it down here, making the figure 8 with your hips back and forth. Just this way, back and forth. Here we go. And I usually use this as a warm-up. I think it does a great job of getting the center ready, stretching, massaging the internal organs, getting all that internal fascia going. And now we can reverse it. We can go like a backwards figure 8. Looks the same, you're just moving the opposite direction. There we go. Looks a little silly sometimes, but I don't know, I think it's a good movement. And the masters, they always say you have to move from your center. Well, a lot of times when we're thinking about our center, we don't move at all. And I think that the figure 8 allows us a lot of dynamic movement. And that's why I'd like to use it in this next section. Now, when we're doing this figure 8, let me show you. Here's some really funky Skeletor shoes, fun for practicing martial arts. If you'll notice, on these shoes, I've got some dots, okay? There's like a little dot here and one down by the heel. These are the points that we're going to be focusing on. The first point you can look up in an acupuncture book. This is called Yongchuan. It's kidney 1. You can look up in the acupuncture book, kidney 1. It means surging well. We're going to use this one a lot. It's right behind the ball of your foot. So if you were to stand on your tiptoes, right behind where you're standing. Obviously, you're not a ballerina. You're not in toe shoes. You're going to come up on the balls of your feet. Right behind that, right behind where your foot is up, that's where that K1, Yongchuan is. The other point we're looking at isn't a pressure point, but it's right in the center of the heel. If you lean back onto your heels, find the center of that bone right there. You can kind of find it in your mind. You know right where your heel is. When you're back on your heels, or maybe if you're doing squats, coming down, that part that you're pushing up with, the back of the heel, okay? Or if you're doing a stomp kick. back of the heel. Now, for this technique, I'd like to use Peter Wayne's idea of pouring. But this time, instead of pouring from one leg to the other, we're going to pour from one part of the foot to the other. So we're going to pour from the heel to the ball, or from the ball to the heel, back and forth. And with 2 feet, you're going to pour from the heel of one foot to the ball. Then you're going to pour from the heel of the other foot to the ball. And then from the ball to the heel, to the ball, to the heel, to the ball, to the heel. Okay, you're going to keep going back and forth, which is kind of like its own little figure 8. You'll see more when we try it together. So here we are, just stepping forward. And we're going to start with our weight, and say your right leg. Put your weight in the heel of the right leg, then the ball of the right leg. Then coming over, heel of the left leg, ball of the left leg. Heel of the right, ball of the right, heel of the left, ball of the left. Heel to ball, heel to ball. Figure 8, back and forth. Heel to ball, pour, heel to ball. Pouring that weight forward, heel, pour it into the ball, pour it into the heel, pour it into the ball. Heel to ball, and heel to ball. And we can go backwards the same way. We can go from ball to heel on the left, to ball to heel on the right. Ball to heel on the left, ball to heel on the right. Pouring into the left ball, left heel, the right ball of the foot, right heel of the foot. Left ball pouring to left heel, right ball pouring to right heel. And the one thing you want to make sure is that your knees are still pretty much pointing over your toes. You don't want your knees wandering all over the place. Not good for them, okay? They pretty much want to go back and forth. You can get a little bit of movement here. That's fine. It's actually good just to get a little bit, but you don't want to be excessive here, okay? So let your hips move. Let your knees pretty much stay stable, okay? They're going to be hovering right over the toes, okay? You don't want them going out any further than that back toe, and you don't want them coming way inside either. Really bad for the knees. So keep that in mind. Now let's try that in the movements. We're going to change our stance. Last time we were in a full bow stance with one toe pointed directly out front, and the other foot pointed out at about a 30-degree angle. Where does that angle come from? If you go up to reach up like you're going to give someone a hug, that's exactly the angle that you want that foot. So I've got one foot pointed forward. I reach out like I'm going to give a hug. It's right over that arm, in line, pointing that way. And I would pour back and pour forward. This time, I'm going to turn this foot in. And the reason why is because I'm going to be doing a figure 8. But as I turn this way, it's going to cause this knee to bend in. And I don't want that. So I'm going to have to bring my foot in this way a little bit. Now, both my feet are roughly in that same, if I were facing forward, giving someone a hug, that angle, this one pretty much mimics that same angle. So my feet, if I'm standing this way, are parallel. I'm looking off to, say, about a 45-degree angle, 30-degree angle. They're both pointed that way. So now I'm going to come back, lean to the ball. I'm sorry, lean from the heel to the ball, come up to the front leg, heel to the ball. Lean back, heel to ball, front, heel to ball. Coming back, pouring back, heel to ball, front, heel to ball. Coming back, back heel, back ball of the foot, front heel, front ball of the foot. Back heel, back ball of the foot, front heel, front ball of the foot. Hopefully you're trying that with me. Let's do it on the other side. Other side, same thing. So we'll get in that same stance. The bow stance is toes pointed forward. We're going to turn it in to protect the knees. And we're going to come over into the front leg, heel to the ball of the front leg, swinging back, heel to ball of the back leg, heel to ball of the front leg, pouring back to the heel of the back leg, ball of the back leg, pouring forward to the heel of the front leg, ball of the front leg, heel of the back, ball of the back leg. Heel to ball, heel to ball, heel to ball. Okay, now what I'd like to do is start adding the hands in there as well. Remember, we're pushing, okay? So the first hand, the back hand, we're just going to do one at a time. It's going to stay right in front, protecting your center, right over your heart. We're in that same stance, bow stance with the front leg turned in to protect the knees. And this hand's just going to come up. And we come back to the back leg heel, back leg ball, front leg heel, front ball. Ball, heel to ball, heel to ball. Backing, heel to ball, front, heel to ball. Pulling back, back heel, back ball, front heel, front ball. There's your push. Pulling and pushing. Pulling and pushing. Moving from the heel to the ball of the foot, to the front heel to the ball of the foot. Now we can bring the front hand in. Same thing, we're going to bring the back leg back, back hand back. And it's just going to kind of come up in front, keeping your elbow in nice and tight, protecting your face, kind of chin-ish, as we come back, heel to ball, moving up, front, heel to ball. There's your push right there. Coming back, there's a pull, heel to ball. Coming up, heel to ball. The back is heel to ball. You're pulling them in here, pushing them out there. Back, heel to ball, front, heel to ball. Back, heel to ball, front, heel to ball. Back, heel, ball, front, heel, ball. Pouring the whole time, letting your hips do the work. Your arm is just along for the ride. And once you've got that, we're going to bring them both together. One protecting the center, one protecting the front. As we come back, back leg, heel, ball. Front leg, heel to ball. Pouring back, heel, ball. Front, heel, ball. Pulling back, heel, ball. Front, heel, ball. Back, figure eight. Front, figure eight. Back, keeping those knees over the toes, front, heel ball, back, heel ball, front, heel ball. And remember, as you're coming back, you're pulling your opponent towards you. As you're coming out, you're going to push with this hand first, and then this hand comes up and pushes. And this hand pulls, starts to pull back, and then this one pulls back. Push, push, left pull, right pull. Right push, left pull, right pull. Right push, left pull, right pull. Okay? Okay, let me use my chalkboard here, my pretend opponent, and show some of the martial applications with that. Okay? So the first thing is we've got this funky step that we've changed now. Like I said, most Tai Chi goes with the front foot push placed directly forward and the back leg kind of turned out at a 30-degree angle. But we've got ours turned in. Now imagine this is his front leg. If my foot's here, there's no bracing here. But if I turn it this way, I can actually get a pretty nice leg lock on him right here. So as I come in for my push, rather than just pushing him back, what I'd like to do is just trip him a little bit with this leg, okay? Take this leg from him. So my foot is kind of turned in. That's the first motion. Turning in this way to kind of trap his leg just a bit. The next thing we've got is that with the first technique, I was talking earlier about double weighting. A guy comes in, I'm going to pull his arm in and then push him straight back. When you do equal power with both sides, that's called double weighting. Anyone that plays football kind of knows this. You know, those guys on the front line, when they push into the guy, if you push into the guy who's smaller than you, sure, you can send him flying. But if he's your size, or heaven forbid, bigger than you, you're going to have a trouble pushing against the bigger person. One trick to do that is to push one side a little soft and the other side really strong, okay? It gives them like a lopsided strike here. So as I come in, one part's soft and the other part's strong. Or even better yet, I can come in and pull with one hand as I'm pushing with the other to send them off balance. And I think that's what we're doing here. We're pulling in as one hand is pulling them. As one hand is pulling them, the other is going to be pushing. So as we come in here, here's the pull. As we come back towards the back heel, and now as I come towards the back ball of the foot, this hand is pushing. So I'm pulling and pushing. Now this, and finally, I'd like to suggest that these might not be pushes at all. These could actually be strikes. Some common striking areas would be the side of the head, side of the jaw, right here at stomach 5, Dai Ying. Another would be Ren Ying, stomach point number 9. If you hit yourself in the neck right here, you can feel how painful that strike can be. You can even lose consciousness up to the top of the head or even into the collarbone. Okay, these are all nice strike areas to be. The form teaches us that it's a push, and it certainly looks like a push, but these can certainly be strikes. And I think that in the martial applications here, they most definitely are. Nice, soft, penetrating strikes. All right. Now today we kind of showed a lot of the martial application of this technique, and I think that's important for giving us some understanding. But I also know that there's some people who just practice Tai Chi purely for the physical improvements and mental improvements that they get from it. Don't worry about that, okay? I just think it's important to understand the martial application so that you can apply those principles to the health-related ideas that we're going to be getting into in the next video. So please, I hope you'll join me next time when we try to explore how this movement helps us bring energy from the earth and from the sky above us, bring that chi energy into our body, leaving us more invigorated and gently relaxed as well. I hope you'll join me, and I hope this was helpful for you. Thank you.